I'm done, I got you on your knees. I'm stacking money, I'm getting to the cheese. I'm done with the games on my Q's and my P's. I'm just a bad bitch, I do it with ease. You late with a dog, do you get up with?
Hey you guys, my name is Stephanie. I'm new to YouTube. I'm coming to you guys today to just answer a couple questions about a topic that I was researching myself and did not find a lot of information on. So I wanted to try to come to you guys and address some of the questions that I had and some of the questions that I see that other YouTubers had also. Alright, so first, before we get into this video, if you could go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, because I will be keeping you guys updated during this journey and possibly some other things also. So again, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So I'm coming to you guys today because I'm planning to have a BBL and Lipo 360 December 10th, 2020 with Avana plastic surgery. I have been planning this seriously since April of this year. I researched Avana. Well, I actually researched clinics in Miami. And Avana is one that I came across. I looked on Google, YouTube, different things like that. When I Googled, I really didn't find too much information on them because I think that maybe this year or last year or a couple years ago or so, they changed their name. For what reason, I don't know. We all can imagine why a practice may change their name. So I think that they did change their name within the last couple years. However, since they've changed it, I haven't been seeing a whole lot of bad reviews, mainly their customer service, but not as far as like the doctors and things. So I found the place that I wanted to go with. After I found the place I wanted to go with, and then I had to decide what doctor I wanted to go with. So at the time, there was a doctor by the name of Dr. Meridian, aka Dr. Snack is what they called him. They had Dr. Muminiskis and Dr. Dress. Just from my research, I noticed that Dr. Dress was one of the newer doctors because you couldn't find a whole lot of information or pictures for him on Google, YouTube, Instagram. He's not on Instagram. Ivana will post some of his pictures sometimes, but he does not have an Instagram page, so there was not a lot of information about him. Starting out, I went with Dr. Meridian because he seemed to be the most popular doctor as far as the BBLs go for that location. And he had a lot of info I could look up. So he had a lot of pictures on Instagram. He had his own page along with the Avana page. When I looked up Avana on YouTube, himself along with Dr. Miminiskis had information about them and videos and things like that. So I originally went with Meridian based off of the research I had done, the pictures I had seen, and I was satisfied with those. My initial cost for at first I wanted just the Lipo 360. My cost for that was $4,000 with a $250 deposit, which I had to pay right away in order to even lock my date in. I paid that, and I had told myself anyways that I was not going to pay on it monthly. I was just going to pay it all off the week, 2 weeks beforehand. Sorry, my son started to call my name, but yeah, I went with him based off of the research I had done. So for the Lipo 360, my initial cost was $4,000 with $250 deposit. I paid the $250, and I had already planned to not make monthly payments on it. I knew I would have the money when it was time to pay it off anyway. So I just decided to do that because I wanted to make sure that my labs came back the way that I wanted them to come back. There was nothing that happened crazy where it would not happen and I would have already paid my money. So I wanted to wait to the last minute to get it done or to pay. I would say at the beginning when I went to the website to set it up, the consultation and all of that was really quick. So I didn't have any issues with that at all. I seen a lot of girls on YouTube that complained about the coordinators not getting back to them in a timely manner or them not being able to get through to anyone with Avana. I sort of experienced that, but then I came to realize that when you're working at a surgeon office, especially if it's not like a huge office, a lot of times people are not going to get back to you right away because they're busy. And there's only so much the coordinators and the customer service can answer. So the customer service are the ones that usually get the bad rep because those are the ones that you will get. Normally you won't be talking to the surgeons. So that's what I noticed, that a lot of people were complaining about when they call, they needed to speak with their coordinator or something like that, and they weren't available. They had to call them back, and it took them days to call them back and things like that. I kind of experienced that, but at the same time, I understood because, I mean, it is a business. You can't expect people to just be sitting around just waiting for people to call, because if that's the case, they're not doing any work. So I understood that. So I emailed a couple times to see if I could have my surgery changed from the Lipo 360 to the BBL. I think I sent 2 emails and then I called and I was told that someone would call me back. I never heard from anyone. I think like maybe 2 days passed. So I decided to go on the website, what I initially did. And when you go to the website, a chat box pops up and it asks you, hey, is there anything I can assist you with? Basically, it's for new customers. They try to pull new customers in, be more attentive to them when you first get on the website. But I use that to see if someone could have my coordinator to call me back. Originally, my coordinator name was I can't remember. I never spoke with her, so I can't remember. But then the person I actually did speak with after I went through that chat on the website, her name was Monique, and she eventually ended up switching my coordinator anyways to Monique. So I ended up speaking with her, getting the surgery changed to BBL and Lipo 360. The price changed from $4,000 to $4,500, which is not bad at all. I didn't have to put any additional money down. I just had to pay the difference because I had already paid the $250. So that was fine. They had been, I wouldn't say they weren't following up because it was still early in the process. So there was not much that they needed to tell me. The initial email stated that stated the general information about what they needed. I'm just pulling up the email so I can just give you a little insight on what it was. So this was after I had sent the pictures, my height, and they asked if you had ever had surgery and all of that. So fast forward to November, which is, it's November now. My surgery is December 10th. Fast forward, I received an email exactly 30 days before my surgery date with the required labs and all of that I needed that I needed to be submitted 2 weeks before my surgery date. So I had to have, let's see. All right, so they sent me an email that states, For your surgery, you will need a full panel of labs, urinalysis, 12 lead EKG, a chest x-ray. I need a medical clearance and a physical clearance, and a COVID test within 14 days of the surgery day or less. It just tells me that these exams are due 2 weeks prior to your surgery and provided me with the fax number. It does state if my exam is not done or submitted by the dates that it lists, that the surgery might be rescheduled. And it gives you a few options of where you can go to get these things done. All right, it also lists things you should stop within 30 days of the surgery. You should stop smoking. That includes marijuana, cigarettes, vaping, hookah, any drugs that you were taking, birth control, any over-the-counter medications you should stop taking. You could take iron if you have to take iron pills, which that is something that I have to take. Stop drinking alcohol, protein shakes, or tea. Stop any weight loss treatment, and stop hormone medication or creams. All right, so I received that information. I submitted it over I took it to my doctor. I went to the doctor's office. So going back just a little, like I said, I have been following Ivana on Instagram heavy. So Instagram was my main source of keeping up with them, just like pictures and things to see like the work that they had been doing. So I have been watching Instagram just to see the progress of the doctor that I was going with, Dr. Meridian. And I noticed that I hadn't seen any pictures from him in like a month or so. And the only pictures I was seeing was from Meniscus and Dr. Dress. So at that time, I had ran across the YouTuber that made a video, and she was saying that once he was her doctor, but once she finally got to Miami, that they advised her that he was not available for whatever reason, and that they needed to either reschedule or see if she wanted to go with a different doctor. And she ended up going with Dr. Dress. And fast forward, I hadn't heard anything that he was going to be out or anything like that. Fast forward to when I got my lab result, or when I got my lab paperwork, my pre-surgery paperwork. I received an email, and I was already expecting this, knowing that I have not seen him on Instagram, and then all of a sudden this YouTuber said the same thing, and I was also following his personal page on Instagram, and he had not posted for a while. So I kind of expected that they would ask me to change the doctor, so I was already ready to say, hey, this is who I'm going with if you guys change it. So a little over a month before my surgery, I would say maybe a couple days before I received my lab request, I got an email saying that he was going to be out until February 1st, that he's pushing everything back starting February 1st, 2021, and asked if I wanted to reschedule or if I wanted to go with a different doctor, and they would honor the same price. That was fine with me. Like I said, I already expected that. So I decided to go with Meniscus at first. The reason being is because like I said, him and Meridian, it seems as if they both were there the longest. So the most pictures I seen was from Meniscus and Meridian. When Meridian disappeared, the majority of the pictures I seen was Meniscus, and I seen Dress every now and again. I decided to go with Meniscus because of that, because I could see his work. I did a little research. He had been doing this for 20 years. But then I sat back and thought about it. Like after I looked at the different pictures, don't get me wrong, he had beautiful work, but it was just some things I did not really like. So I went back in and decided to change it to Dress. Once my coordinator finally called me after she sent the email, let me know that Meridian wouldn't be available and that she wanted to confirm the doctor I would be going with. I decided to change it to Dress. When I decided to change it to Dress, the price, instead of my price being $4,500, it actually went down because he was cheaper, and I'm guessing because he's still trying to build his clientele because he's new there. Even though he has been in the game over 23 years, and he's worked at, he had his own practice before he came to Avana. He still needed to build his clientele there. So the price had nothing to do with me going with him, but because before I decided to go with him, I didn't even know the price. I thought they were still just honoring the $4,500. But just based off of the YouTuber that had to switch to him, and I seen her results afterwards, and then just a few pictures I did see that they post for him on Instagram. I really like his work, so I decided to go with him. And so happened his price was cheaper, and for the BBL it was $4,000 instead of $4,500, and I didn't have to pay any difference. So I ended up going with him, got that price. I initially didn't plan on getting arm lipo because I didn't want to pay any extra. I didn't want to go over $5,000 because I knew once I got there there were things I had to pay for. So I had already budgeted myself for what I wanted to spend. Since he was cheaper, I decided to get arm lipo because the extra $500 to get both of my arms done, it was $500. So I decided to do that. All right, so currently I'm just waiting on my lab results for them to send the clearance. It has to be in by this Friday, so I'm on the doctors to go ahead and get that sent in, seeing that it is a holiday week. So, I want them to go ahead and get that in so we don't have any issues. But so far, everything has been good on my end. I mean, sometimes if I want to get a hold to my coordinator or something like that, it's not right away, but they do get back to me. Like sometimes you may have to follow up with them a couple times, but someone will get back to you, and I understand that they are busy, and if especially, during this pandemic, they may be short-staffed and things like that, so I'm kind of understanding. I try not to get upset or anything about that. But for the most part, when I do speak with someone, everyone is very polite, informative. They want to know what they can do for you if you have any additional questions for them, what you need to do before surgery, because currently my BMI is too high. My BMI is currently, I think, like 37 something, and it has to be 35 in order for the surgery to happen. My current weight, I am considered overweight. My weight is 224 and my height is 5'5", so that would consider me to be overweight, and I have to get down at least 10 to 15 pounds before my surgery. That's in the next 2 weeks. I have to get down. So starting today, I'm trying to get down, and I'm pretty sure I can get down to that. I've lost weight in this time that fast before, so I'm not too worried about that. But I just wanted to come to you guys and let you know about that. I think the turnaround time they want you to be in Miami is 5 to 7 days, but my stuff is only set for 5 days, and I'll be headed back home. So I'll be there for 5 days, getting my massages and everything. Oh, okay. So as far as my living situation, so it was between my husband and my aunt that I wanted to take with me. I do have 2 children, so I had to decide where they would go while I'm doing this. My husband has to work, so he was unable to take off, but my aunt, she decided she would go with me. So normally if I had something planned, she would take the kids for me. She doesn't mind doing that sometime. But I knew she wanted a break also, just to get away, so I kind of preferred her to go, and I know she would take care of me, help me out a lot, even though I know my husband will, but you know me, how men are. So I prefer her to go, and he will take care of the kids. He'll take care of the kids, and while he's at work, he'll figure out where the kids will go until I get back. But I think my sister-in-law would help him, or my mother-in-law would help him, either one. But he has that down pat. But I'm taking my aunt with me. I decided not to do a recovery home because Just the thought of, I look at recovery homes and things like that, and I could be wrong, but I've worked in a nursing home before, and I don't like the idea of having someone that I really don't know, especially when there's a lot of different people that they have to tend to caring for me. So I would prefer all of the attention to be on me to make sure that I'm receiving all of the care that I need to receive possible, which is why I decided not to go to a recovery home, and I decided to bring a relative with me that I know would, cook good food for me, would help me clean up when I needed to be cleaned up, and I didn't have to, just sit and wait until they finish with another person or another patient. And also I wanted to just be in my own environment, not around a lot of different people that I didn't know. So that's one reason I decided to take my aunt. Also, I did decide on an Airbnb, but then I decided against that and went with a hotel room with the kitchen. That way, with the hotel room, we can be right there together. There's 2 beds. We can be right there together. And if I need anything, she's right there. And then if we have to cook, we can always get grocery and broth and soup and all those type of things and just fix them right in the room where we are. So I thought that was a good idea. I did book a vehicle, a SUV, because I noticed that a lot of people were getting like Ubers and things like that, and some of them don't allow you to let their seat down, a lot of different things like that. So just to avoid that, I got an SUV where I could let the back seat down. I'm planning to get a air mattress and have all of that set up before I even go in for surgery on that Thursday. So I plan to have a twin size air mattress in the back, covered with plastic, and maybe 2 pillows, just so I'm comfortable. But yeah, that's my plan. And then once we get to the room, I plan to have everything set out for her the night before, so there is no hassle or anything like that. But I'm flying to Miami early morning the day before. I have to get to my pre-op appointment before 12, just to get paperwork and all that signed. I think I make it to Miami at like 7 in the morning, so I have plenty of time to get that done. I plan to head right from the airport with the rental car, drive right there, get everything done, and then get that show on the road. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Actually, I paid the remaining balance today, and for some reason I got extremely nervous. But yeah, and my husband, he didn't make it any better. I showed him some videos last night of the massages and like the liquids and things coming out, and he was just like, he woke up thinking about it today, and he was just like, "Ooh, baby, I'm so sorry that you're gonna have to go through that. I sure hate to see you like that." And I told him, "You don't have to worry too much about that. By the time I come back home, all you would have to do is give me massages. Hey, I don't want to hurt you. Well, that's okay. Unless you're going to pay for massages, you're going to be the one doing them. That's okay. Don't worry about hurting me." But yeah, overall, he's excited. I mean, he feels as if I could just work it, I could just work out and do it. But we had the discussion again last night, because I actually don't think he thought I was serious until now, like when I'm going to get the lab work and paid the full amount and all that. I don't think he thought I was serious until now. And I asked him what did he really think about it, and he said, he feel that I can work it off, but he know that this is something that I've been like insecure about since I've had my son, my second child, because I had 2 C-sections. And the second one, it just did not do my body well at all. So he understands that, that's one of my insecurities. Even though he loves my body the way it is, I have to love my body also. And he just wants to be supportive. He said, "I've been talking about doing this for a couple years now, and if that's gonna make me happy, then he feel like I should go ahead and do it. And when I get back, he'll be here to help me, and while I'm gone, he'll have the kids. But yeah, I ordered all of my stuff today, majority of my stuff from Amazon today. I got they had a packet deal where you could get the BBL pillow, the pillow that you put under your legs, and then it had also like a back pillow, so when you're leaning back, you know, it's cushioned, but you're also like on the plane, you don't have to lean all the way back, you know, you're like sitting straight up. So I got that. Excuse me. I also got some dog pads. I got foam boards. I got itch cream. I got pain meds. I got essential oils. I got a urinal. And some other things. I'm waiting for those things to come. So once I get everything situated and I get everything I need, I'll do another video just showing like what I'm packing and taking with me and all of that. I think that would be my next video as far as this BBL journey goes. I'll be updating the things that I took with me. But you guys go ahead and follow this journey with me. Keep me in your prayers, and I'll keep you updated if this is something you decide to do. All I would say is don't do it because you're trying to please somebody else. Do it if that's something that you really want to do and that will make you feel better. Do it for you. As I am, I'm going to do it for me. I didn't care what anybody thought, because my mom, she really didn't want me to do it. I mean, my family members, they really didn't want me to do it. They didn't have a whole lot of negative to say, but they feel the same way. Like, I don't really need to touch my body. I could just work out, but that's easier said than done. So, I mean, overall, they are supportive, even though that's something they didn't want me to go ahead and do it. But if that's what I want to do and it'll make me feel better, then they support my decision, and I'm happy about that. And I'm happy that I'm taking someone with me that I know is going to take really good care of me. And I'm just ready for the transformation. I know God got me. But yeah, stay tuned. Again, keep me in your prayers, and I'll keep you guys updated and let you know how it goes, how my doctor is, just in case you want to go to them. I'll let you know how everything is. And again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll hit you back later.